Start recording. Oh, here you go. All right, do you want to do the intro? I'm currently fucking with filters and shit.
Oh, we're gonna do like a proper intro this time?
Yeah, do the intro.
Yo, holy shit, we're doing a proper intro.
I'm giving you the first intro.
Hello,
Damn.
welcome to Base Department. I'm the meme officer, also known as William. That right there, I don't know, wait, no, actually, my camera's flipped. So that right there, that's Andrew,
Yep.
also known as Realeasy. And
Well-
then right above him, oh, what's up, Andrew?
Well, for those on Twitch, you'll be
We're not
seeing
streaming.
this live
No, there's no stream.
tomorrow or on Wednesday. But for those watching it on streaming platforms such as Spotify, you won't be able to see the footage. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's in
unfortunate.
audio form. Welcome back to episode 3 of the Base Department. We honestly don't know what the title is going to be yet. But
The last 3 have been solid. I think we had 2 Elon episodes.
Yeah, we just had 2 Elon episodes.
I believe the first
We
one's
do
called
have
Of
a,
Elon and Anime.
And
we
then
do have
the
a
return of the
special
Musk.
guest today. We
We have a very special
Very
guest.
special guest.
Oh, very special.
Bim
Special to
Lore.
us.
Mr. Reese right up here. Feel free to introduce yourself, my friend.
Hi, I'm Reese, also known as Bimblor Plays on Twitch. I'm new to Twitch streaming, and I'm very, very happy to be here. Thank you very much for having
Yeah,
me.
please go
Welcome
give
joining
him a
us.
follow on Twitch. And when do you usually go live, Reese?
I go live, normally I'll be live on Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays.
Awesome,
9
so-
9 a.m. Hong Kong time. Because I'm in Hong Kong,
Alright.
that's the thing, that's the weird thing.
Yeah, we'll be definitely getting to that today because we want to know how it has been for you in Hong
Oh,
Kong.
yeah. Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
yeah. It's an interesting thing to talk about. There's lots to talk about Hong
Oh
Kong.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's always a lot to talk about.
Always something
Yeah, it was
happening.
recently in political heat and all that. You know.
That's
Constantly. That's constantly.
yeah,
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
That's,
Oh, yeah. No, that's
just
just all the
life.
time.
That's life all the time now. I'm here and people are like, "Did you see what happened in X country?" And I'm like, "I'm just looking at my anime milkers. Leave me alone.
I'm just I'm just
That's
here,
how it is.
man.
I don't want to know." Sitting here, it's like outside is just an active war zone, and I'm 3D printing minis. It's like,
Just sitting inside watching your anime.
Oh, wait, actually, I don't think that they've seen your minis. I know that you have like boxes of them around you.
Oh
I
my
went-
god!
I went back
I
and
don't know if you guys can
watched.
see- I don't know if you guys can like see in the back, but he's got like those drawers chucked full.
Yeah.
of,
That's
like,
all
Yeah,
minis.
feel free to
all
sh-
minis.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Feel free to show some on the cam.
I
if you'd
will.
like.
I'll get some. I just printed this one out last night. Actually, this one's sick. This is really cool.
Oh,
Oh my
that
god,
is crazy.
That's fucking
Really cool, right?
awesome.
I actually have a question for you, Reese.
Holy
so,
shit.
do you
Really,
like
really
do
cool.
all of these? Do you do all the 3D modeling yourself?
No. These,
No?
these are all from these are like Patreons I'm subscribed to. 'Cause
I
it's
see.
like it's barely anything. It's like $7, and you get access to so much stuff. And then
Wow.
you spend most of your money on resin.
Yeah.
Oh
I've
Have
yeah,
you-
resin's
done-
like.
This one I got printed and printed out.
Holy shit.
That looks awesome.
It looks kind of like Bahamut.
I was gonna
Yeah.
mention that, yeah. It's like Lunar Bahamut.
It's
So
supposed
you-
to be like it's supposed to be a knoll dragon, so it's really cool. I like the
Oh.
vibe, like the dwarves cutting off.
There's a website called Thangs. I don't know if you heard about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For
I go on the
3D
I go on
stuff.
the cosplay stuff because I printed out a bunch of cosplay bits for guns and armor and stuff. Because I've got like
Yeah.
4 printers, so my wife gets really pissed off because she'll be like, walks past the printing room and it's like glowing, like, it's fucking the Chinese government's like, what the fuck is going on over there?
It's just a rave. It's just a
Power
non-stop
spike,
rave.
massive
It's
power
just
spike.
like this like spike in power usage from this one home, and they come to take a
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
Like, what's going on here? You printing
I've got
money?
I've got my little Gadsden flag. Don't tread on me, but it's like me. This is my property. You get out. I know my rights. I can print a naked dwarf if I want. Fuck you.
Yeah. Oh my god.
If I want to paint a big titty snake girl, you can't fucking stop me. I'm free.
You know what? Valid.
Yeah.
I've already done that. Is that the first thing I did?
Oh my god.
Well,
I was
you're-
just like, I have-
you
I
still have it.
Yeah, I do.
I'd
Oh
rather
my
not. I'd
God.
rather not get.
I can go get it. You want to fucking see it? I painted it. I can go get it.
Yes.
I can't. This is
That's
like.
the first thing that you've ever done.
I'm gonna have to clip this on YouTube. This is gonna be a pod. This is gonna be an RSS feed exclusive.
Upload an unedited version to
Oh, absolutely.
YouTube.
I can put the
Also,
I can put the whole thing on the RSS feed, but
Yeah, just throw it on the
Because
RSS.
I'll
Dude,
be
holy shit.
I'll be editing all the
Holy shit.
I'll be doing a lot of the post processing now from now on for the Spotify version.
yeah, Pog.
I'm just not gonna do jack crap.
So if you know what's funny, Will,
Hmm.
you know how our cameras are you, Andrew, me, Bimbler. Well, I have it
Yeah.
backwards.
Oh
So
my
it's
God.
so you and Andrew are in the same spot, but me and him have switched places.
Oh, bro.
No reason. Also, you're still. I think it's you're still gayest. Spelled Geyst. You remember I didn't know how to name my sources, so this is what they are.
Oh my God.
A selection of minis
Alright.
printed out.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. That's it.
I'm just gonna update Discord mid call. Do I have a
Alright,
picture I can
ready.
insert? Hold on, I may have a picture I can insert covered up for a moment.
Sorry.
I mean, if
brought
you
a-
update Discord, then it's gonna cut off everything.
It's probably gonna probably crash the recording.
I mean, probably.
All four
do-
of my
yeah, hold
image
on, hold on,
sources.
hold on.
I will see if this can be focused on. There she is.
Ooh.
Oh my God! Wow.
Mommy
That's
Milka's
awesome.
Yeah.
Mommy Milka's Dino Woman.
Oh my God.
This
That's
was
the
like one of my
first thing that you're.
first.
Seriously?
That's one of my first paint jobs I ever did.
Yeah.
That's really fucking clean. That's
Is
really
it is it from a specific like like
Artisans Guild. Artisans Guild. They do
Ah.
all the. This is. I'll show you some of my big prints I've done. This was.
Oh,
they cut his.
okay.
Your internet
I was-
is
I was- I was
having
about-
a fun
I was
time.
about ready- I was about ready to
Oh.
say like, oh, they cut his
Oh,
internet.
yeah.
Xi Jinping.
These do things like less of that. They're like he's showing Mommy Milka shut him down. Shut him down. But
No
I've,
more
yeah,
social credit for you.
I printed this T-Rex out for my D&D campaign.
That's
so
very nice. That reminds me a lot of one of the old Warhammer from
Yeah, the Lizard Men, one of the old Lizard Men ones. This
Yeah, well,
thing,
I was
one day
thinking-
we'll do
it's
a,
the
this thing took 23 hours to print. Look at this.
oh my god.
that was worth it, dude. That
Your
was
camera
awesome.
died.
Holy shit.
Your camera died, Will.
Yeah, I know. Give me one sec.
Alright. That is massive. That's one piece.
Yeah. When you look at like when you look at the scale of it for like the regular minis, like in scale with it.
Yeah, that thing is, and that's one piece, by the way, right?
Fucking massive.
You did that all at
This is
once?
20 No. This was the legs.
Okay.
Also, and then like the wings. So it was 23 hours. Got to separate it.
Jesus.
My most recent paint job, which is my favorite one, was the Halloween mini I did. I did this
Oh,
pumpkin
yeah.
Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. So it's a pumpkin with a mouth. It's like this like the pumpkin juices are seeping out of the mouth. That's very cool.
I made the juices using glue. I used
Yeah.
glue.
Ah.
That's
I've
creative.
got a bunch of
Very
stuff.
creative.
I've got a bunch of stuff to do. I've got loads of stuff printed out. I've got to paint. I've got these snake men I just printed out. They go with the bone guy.
Mhm.
Like snake people, like got a heart in their hands and stuff. That's gonna be really fun.
That's
To do like
fucking
blood
awesome.
effects.
Ooh.
I got this hobgoblin guy who's gonna be done. Oh god, my camera doesn't want to focus on him.
Yeah.
He's there's a lot. I've got so much stuff because I paint. I
Oh,
paint
yeah.
predominantly on my Twitch. I do painting.
Yeah, I went back and watched one of your streams where you're painting some stuff.
Oh, cheers.
I like to prepare for things.
This is your homework.
Yep.
I don't think
fucking
Andrew's done much of his
weirdo.
homework. I'm not sure if Andrew's done much of his homework, but he's probably heard me like gush about you.
I've just been doing other things. I don't
Yeah.
really go on Twitch that
No,
much.
I was like, whenever I was in your chat, and I was like, hey, you wanna do the podcast? I was like, actually, like,
I was immediately hyped. Yes, yes.
I was just like, I was just like you want to do this? I mean, that's just how I am as a person, you know. It's like I get that like I don't know the word.
Anxiety.
Yeah,
Like
kind of
anxious, like,
anxiety. Like one of our other special, like very special guests. He's gonna be on our stream on December.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah,
about
we're not
it,
gonna say his
but-
name. We're not gonna say his
Evil.
name.
I don't know how we
Oh.
even managed to get
I
this
don't
guy,
fucking know.
but we
But
got
like
him.
I messaged him.
After
we're
the stream,
we're
after the stream,
already.
Yeah, after the stream I'll tell you. But he's got like 30,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he's got like.
Wait, no. I went and checked his stuff. If it's the guy he told me it was, he's got 66K.
Oh, he's got 66.
Yeah, he's a
Fuck.
bit bigger than you thought.
Yeah, he's massive.
Yeah,
I
massive.
joined
He's still fairly small. It's alright.
He's still fairly small for what he
But
does.
he's really good.
He's so talented. And I reached out to him like, oh,
Hey, you're shitting on our guest right now.
you wanna...
We're supposed to be hyping this man up.
No, I mean, okay, look. Reese in his own right is an actual fucking god.
Yeah,
I have
he's.
seen a bunch of his cosplay. Holy shit.
Oh.
This
Well,
man.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. This man is.
What's some of your
like-
cosplay?
Yeah.
Show us your
You actually
portfolio.
You did
Oh,
one
shoot,
just
you.
recently, didn't you?
Oh
Your,
yeah, I
Resident
did
Evil?
Resident Evil. That was
Yeah.
really fun.
Ooh.
That was
Yeah,
really,
if you
really
have
fun.
any photos and stuff, you can post it in the Discord, and
Yeah.
we'll like show it on screen for the people
Oh.
watching.
Yeah, just throw him in host and guest.
I am an expert of
I'll
OBS
show you
now
mine.
because of this.
I
I
should
know
do
you've
my
got a
ID as well.
I know you've got a lot of them on your Twitter as well. Let me see. If
Do I
can-
have?
Yeah.
Is my? I don't have my 4-man scene from media up yet. Damn.
I just chucked my Instagram up so you can see them there. I post a few of them there, but like.
Here, I can adjust.
Wow, I'm looking at your Resident Evil cosplay here. Wow.
Yeah, it was an amazing photo shoot. We did like because of COVID, it like put a stop to cosplay because there's no cons, no one wants to go
Yeah.
to public events, no one wants to hang out.
Also, I haven't mentioned this guy. He goes to the gym like every day, and Jesus fuck. Like, I've seen something like look, you look at me. I obviously don't work out. I'm a bit of a husky guy, and I'm just like Jesus Christ. This man is massive.
To be more, I'm lazy though. I'm getting old now. I'm older.
Well, at least you got them. You know, you got them days at the gym, and so now you won't regret it.
Sorry, cut out there. What you?
Oh,
cut
no.
out.
Oh, I said, at least you got them days at the gym, and so you won't regret it in the future when you.
Get it?
you
No,
know,
no.
go
I was like,
back.
I was just working out last night. Like, oh, sorry. Someone gonna call. I hear like the buzz. I'm worried.
That might be me.
Yeah, that might be.
That might be me. My mic likes to
might
not
be-
like me. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, these
My USB ports
plebs.
don't like me. My
These
USB
plebs
ports
with
don't like me.
no actual skill in technology ever. I
That's
have
what happened to me.
a.
I joined the call first. It's like your mic's muffled. And last night I was in a call with my best friend, and she was like, "Your mic's crackling." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? This is a good mic. Why is it crackling?" And I was worried. I was like, "Who the fuck's touched my mic? Who's touched the wires?"
Me. It was all me.
This is.
I'll tell you right now. I messed with some audio stuff recently, and Discord has a really weird way of sending audio from your microphone into the actual application. Because my mic sounds fine if I stream it through OBS or like anything else, but on Discord it's so weird. I don't know what's wrong with Discord, but
Yeah, it's a.
it's really weird.
I always get nervous because like I'm in the countryside, like deep country.
Uh-huh.
So we call my internet bumpkin net because it decides just to go like, "I'm gonna put that on you, boy."
You're in a nice little phone call, you friend. You fool.
Here you go. There we go. I have your media source up. Let's go.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
If this is gonna let's go on YouTube, I'll actually have some of the stuff up.
But yeah, if you want to post any pics or anything, feel free to share. Follow me on Instagram. I post a lot, but it's like majority nowadays
yeah.
is like minis,
Oh,
minis
shit.
and gym pics.
When was
Yeah,
this?
please follow Reese on
This was like
Instagram
a little bit over a year ago. Your
RHYS _ cosplay. So
Mhm.
Wait.
please go do that.
Is this?
Which one under a year ago?
Oh man. Is it just okay? Cool, it's gonna be awesome. I want to see if this one's gonna embed it.
I love your photo
Okay,
for you
it's not embedding.
holding the
You're,
child.
You're one of your
Oh,
JoJo
yeah.
ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the JoJo one. Oh, that's sick.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
man, I used to be like probably one of the biggest JoJo like contributors because I was into the fandom in the 90s when I was a kid.
Really?
Oh, back when it was
Well, my dad
fresh.
used to work in Japan and come back and bring stuff for me. So he used to bring me the 1990s Bandai toys they made.
Ooh.
They look disgusting. They look like they're literally covered in oil because the paint is so thickly applied. But they're the ones that come with like you get like a figure.
Mhm.
You get a figure and a stand, and there's like you also got like minifigs and stuff. Do you remember those ones? They're
I
like
think
in a
so.
big box.
Yeah.
And then like I've got in my other room. I've got like a 1/1 replica of Dio's stone mask made of
Ooh.
stone. And I've got the steel ball run trophy. I've got the actual 1/1 scale Bad Company soldiers, the plastic soldiers from Bad Company. I've got all the
Nice.
That's
weird
awesome.
collectibles. I've
I
got 1/1
got
scale
similar.
sheer heart attack, tons of stuff.
Oh, you have sheer heart attack?
Yeah, sheer heart attack. And I've got a Vanilla Ice garbage can.
Okay,
Nice,
well,
bro.
did you see the Dio one he did?
I think so.
It's,
That-
it
which
feels.
The
one?
one that I
The
just
one-
sent, yeah.
Which one
You
was
guys
that? The
are-
one where I'm in.
Talking about
did-
all
I did
this.
I
Oh,
did the
Bloodborne.
Dio one that was like the meme one, where it was like Daddy wants to suck.
Wait, I gotta find that one.
I went to a comedy show in California. It was a cosplay wrestling federation called CWF, and it was just like a stand-up comedy thing we did. And I was the reigning champ as Dio, because I went to like 3 or 4 times to this event. So I did like my own version of Dio where he changed like from being like, oh, everyone loved him because he's a heel, but then he turned into his Hollywood Hogan heel. So I called it the NDO, the New Dio Order. I made a very little vest. I customized the back of his jacket to have like all this punk writing that says "Daddy wants to suck."
I actually think I found some of your JoJo stuff that you were literally just talking about. A
Yeah.
picture of it. That
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
I've got like, cabinets full of it. Like, oh, man, these days I've kind of stopped buying JoJo. It's too expensive. It's so
Yeah.
expensive.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The JoJo fandoms, it's all collectibles. It's all like, oh yeah, you want to buy these embossed Killer Queen tie from Japan, which is diamonds and stuff in it, or like, oh, these are the world earrings made by Cartier. I'm like, no, thanks. I just wanted.
I
a
do-
Gashapon toy.
I do find it a little ironic that one of the best Captain America cosplays I've seen is from a guy from.
It's British.
Yeah.
They're like, look, it's Captain America. Hello there, mate. What the fuck are you looking at, eh? What's the gobbo, you cheeky little cunt? Ultron, I've seen what you've been up to, you fuck. Come here.
Oh man. Ah, but wait.
Stephen,
And then there's the.
with those superheroes again? No, Mum. Go back to bed. It's alright.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, and the Zorro picture with you holding the diamond sword.
Oh yeah. That was in my Discord group. We were like all posting like what swords we have, and I was like, while you were studying like your thesis isn't writing, I studied the way of the blade. Minecraft sword. I'm told you.
Yeah, you gotta.
But like, I'm going back into cosplay again now though. It's like
That's awesome.
now things have calmed down. We did that photo shoot for Chris, and that was all private studio. My friend has this really nice studio because he's a painter. He has a huge studio, and we went in there. We had like a black backdrop. We had a smoke machine, lights with gel lights and everything, all private, out of the way. Aircon. I remember I put it on Twitch. I streamed it on Twitch, which was fun. And it just kind of brought me back to like, wow, we can cosplay and do stuff again. So I'm gonna do another one. The next one I'm doing is gonna be a bit memey.
Oh my god.
It's a bit memey, but it's a character I like. Have you played Deltarune?
Yes, I have. I've played it all the way through.
Maybe someone's gonna bring up
Chapters 1 and
Deltarune.
2.
So I'm doing Spamton from Deltarune.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You're doing
yeah.
fucking Spamton?
Okay,
So are you doing regular Spamton or Spamton Neo?
regular Spamton? I'm
Okay.
doing him. I'm actually made a full EVA mask of his face that has
Ooh.
LED lights in
Oh
the
my
eyes. So
god.
that-
Do you like have it done?
not done. It's being
Not
worked
done.
on now.
Being
Not-
worked on. Alright.
Yeah, because I can't display it yet because it's not finished. But I've got the mask frame done, and then my friend's doing the LEDs for me. And then I'm just gonna get like a nice little blazer, a little white polo neck, and then I'm making like the glove is gonna be like a black fabric glove all the way down, and put EVA foam around it to make the robotic kind of fingers. and we're gonna find a dirty ass alleyway. Put an old telephone in there. I'm not gonna climb into a garbage can though.
Aw, not enough dedication.
I'm not a Hong Kong garbage can, because Hong Kong rats are fucking big. So.
Oh my
Yeah, I've
God.
seen them.
Oh,
They-
that's my fucking forearm.
Exactly,
Jesus.
yeah. Like,
Jesus.
yeah, talk
a real
about
big
it.
shot.
Bro, you're not gonna be able to
to
be a big shot unless you climb into a Hong Kong garbage can.
Dumpster diving in Hong Kong is a health hazard.
There's like a dumpster. There's a dumpster that's like quite close to where I live. Because again, we're in the countryside, so they have like one dumpster for everyone. I
Bruh.
could probably go. I could
Gonna
jump in
gonna
that.
share the dumpster with the
Share
neighbors.
the load.
Actually, fun fact: here in America, that like unless it's like strictly put into writing, that's for everyone. That's like a huge no-no.
Oh really?
Yes.
What do you
So
mean?
it's really weird.
He,
Um,
he abides too much by the law, and he's from a place that has no law.
I'm from
He's
I'm
from
like,
Louisiana. He
right around
refuses
the
to just
ninth
take
ward.
shit.
No,
I
but
have
it's
personally
weird,
just
right?
taken
There
stuff
was
from
this
front
guy,
yards.
Actually, I don't remember what state it was in, but there was this guy who was essentially throwing some trash out of his office, and the cops went over there, and they were like, "Hey, we think that you're illegally dumping garbage." But the guy had so essentially it was just this huge ordeal where the police were 100% in the wrong, but essentially they were like, "Hey, we don't think that you have access to dump your garbage here."
No, I do. I open the door.
Yeah, pretty much. But so he was like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm literally from this building right here," and he points to literally the building that the can belongs to, and he's like, "Well, maybe it's just for the people who own the building, not for people who rent out offices in the building." And yeah,
What?
no, it was super
I'm
fucking
gonna call the
stupid.
landlord. Excuse me, landlord. Can you
Yeah,
get
no,
my
it was
trash out,
super
please?
fucking stupid. But I mean, like, stuff like that is weird, dude.
I was gonna ask you guys before. I caught the tail end of your stream playing D&D.
Oh yeah.
How's that going? How's that going? Because I really want to try that myself, like streaming D. Because I was saying last. Did I tell you I've been GMing for 23 years.
Ooh.
So I've been doing it for a goddamn long time. And like, I only got into online like playing over Roll20 when COVID started.
Mhm.
Because we used to have like in-person games every week, like me and my friends.
Yeah, I
And,
think I remember William telling me that you did D&D in real life with some friends.
We did tons of stuff because I've got so many systems I used to play, and I've been here for almost 16 years now. So over the years, I've done like 40k superheroes.
Wow.
I've done samurai games, horror games, modern day stuff. I've done everything you can think: cyberpunk, Star Trek, Star Wars. We used to do it in real life. Like we used to go to these big things. A bunch of people come, all the music and all the minis and table props. But when COVID started, we were like, oh, we have to go online.
Yeah.
It's been going well. I like it. I mean, it's different, but at the same time, it's kind of. I know my wife's happy because she's like, I'm at home.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to go. I used to have to travel across Hong Kong to go because all my friends live in Central, so I had to
Oh,
travel
so you would
all
have
the
to
way
like,
out.
go all the way out there.
Yeah,
to play.
yeah. I go all the way to Central, and the thing is, it sucked because it's so weird. Because I know in the States, it's normally you go to like the GM's place where he's got all his stuff.
Yeah.
So you have like table,
Yeah.
but then you think I'm bringing all this shit with me. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's unreasonable.
I showed Will my mini box. Let me just show
Oh,
you
yeah.
1 second. You gotta believe it.
Dude, he's got so many fucking minis. Like it's unbelievable.
I wouldn't doubt. He
brought
said
these,
he's
I
been
don't
a
think I
GM
will.
for years, so I would
Example,
not doubt.
This is a few of the boxes of minis. These are all
Yeah.
3D printed minis.
Oh my god.
I was not lying to you guys. He has so fucking many. If you guys are on Spotify, I feel so bad for you right now.
It's
He's got
kinda
like three
like,
boxes, like three of like the clear totes of nothing but just minis.
This guy hires a
kinda like
moving
Matt
company
Murdock
when he
is
goes.
selected,
So
dude.
this is just modern and sci-fi. That's just modern and sci-fi minis
Yeah.
in there.
Holy
And that's like all the way deep. You can see how deep.
that's deep, dude.
modern sci-fi. And then you've got like these are large fantasy creatures. These are all giant creatures in there. See, these are all
Oh.
big things.
Okay.
That's deep as well. You can see there's tons of them in there.
So,
Then you can see here, look, this is like some examples stuff I'm going to paint later on, like my Santa Beholder for Christmas.
ooh, that's awesome.
That's
Santa
awesome. That's
Beholder.
really cool.
This is my favorite one, and
It's
I've been
Santa
spamming
Thor.
mini.
Santa Thor.
The gift golem. This is
Oh.
the gift
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 golem.
golem.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
fucking
in
god.
focus.
That is
He's got
awesome.
a teddy bear. He's got a teddy bear for a head. He doesn't want to
Oh
focus
my
on him.
God.
Yeah, it looks better on
It's
the
real-
small
it's real-
cameras
it's real-
though.
It's real dump truck ass though. Look at that booty.
Oh,
Ooh.
That's the real present.
That's the real
Uh,
present.
Yeah, that's the gift that keeps on giving. That is. That's the gift that keeps on giving. When your golem got a dump truck ass.
but yeah, Reese, you mentioned you recently moved online and everything, and you said it's been going pretty well for you, right?
Yeah, it's basically like having access. Everyone can stay online till later.
Yeah.
Having just character sheets on Roll20 and
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
God.
digital character
Access
sheets
to,
are.
quick access to like spells
And,
and,
Yes.
abilities.
What do we call it?
Yes.
What I can say is you'll probably like right now it probably feels just a little bit weird still since you're still transitioning and everything. But once you get used to it, like you said, everything's online. You can do a lot of cool stuff as well if you do move from Roll20 at some point. I know William here. He uses Foundry, which we
Yeah,
Foundry
Foundry,
VTT
yeah.
is
time.
amazing.
Yeah.
Foundry
It's-
I was
VTT
looking
is
into it.
absolutely
Yeah.
insane.
I saw when I was in your stream, you had it up, and I was like, oh, he's using Foundry. I want to try it. But
Yeah,
I've been
it's,
using Roll20 for our campaign's been 2 years.
Yeah.
So we're good. We're good. It's 2 year long campaign. Every week, every Thursday or Friday, we play. And my friends bought me a full subscription, so I got like access to everything.
Nice.
And that for me, I'm like a huge fan of like music setting a scene. So like having access, I can just like chuck all this music on. I want
yeah.
for like each.
Oh,
and my campaign's like a globe trotting campaign. They're going like all over my world. So like,
Yeah.
oh, we're going
that's
into
it's similar here too. Is
Me and
essentially,
him, me and Will here.
Like actually here, let me pull it up real quick. I have a World Anvil. If you don't know what World Anvil is, it's fucking awesome.
yeah.
Do it.
Can we get them as a sponsor? That'd be our best first sponsor, honestly.
I know,
That,
right?
that really would be.
Because I've
I would-
loved World Anvil since I heard about it the first
Let me
time.
log in real quick.
I've used it a bit. I'm so old school though. I like to write everything. I have everything in books.
You can
My wife
upload.
is-
You can upload
My wife
written
got mad
stuff.
at me because she's like, I've got this files, and I'm like, because I write all my stuff as arcs, like an anime. So I'm like, this is the arc
Yeah,
in this
I'm
place.
doing-
this
I'm
is the arc
doing
in this place.
pretty much the same thing. I've got to really quickly find.
Yeah, I think I didn't. Did I tell you I finished some of that brief summary you wanted me to finish?
Oh,
but
did you? Oh, awesome.
It's not
Yeah,
like
the-
incredibly long though.
Having access to everything online is just really nice, like especially like music and uploading character art and stuff. One of the
Here.
one of the
I'm
players.
I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah, I
throw
can
this in
share.
first, I
I think
guess.
I can share. Yeah, I want to actually share my friend's stuff.
So you've been DMing for 23 years, we said.
23 years. Yeah, I started when I was like 9 back in the UK. My first game I ever DM'd was Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay.
I was gonna ask, have you have you played D&D 3.5?
Yeah, when I first moved to Hong Kong, that's what we played. We played 3.5 when I first moved, and then we transitioned to 4th edition.
Oh god.
Online. That was online. We used to play on Tiny Chat back in the day.
Oh my
I-
god. I own 3 of the books for 4th edition: the Dungeon Master's Manual, the Monster Manual, the Dungeon Master's Guide, and the Monster Manual, the Player's Handbook. 4th edition is, I don't know, it's all right.
Got some stuff I really like and some stuff I really don't like.
Yeah.
Like, Matt Caulfield brings it up as well a lot. Like, I like the way they handled enemies, where it's like you have the
Mhm.
minions and you have the masters. So it's like the progression of player strength's really good. Where it's like, oh yeah, you fight a troll at level 2 and it's like a big deal. But then when you're at level 10, you fight a troll. It's like, oh, now it's a minion. You can kill 100 trolls in a turn. I'm
Yeah,
like, that's sick.
the
You butcher
power-
them, I love it.
The power scaling in 4th was better, but for like terms of just art role playing and like getting into the characters,
Oh, it was
I
awful
like
for roleplay.
I really like 5e and 3.5 for that.
I think
Okay, there we
I'm
go.
kind of like I'm always really on the fence. I'm not a huge fan of D&D because I feel it's way too
Restrictive.
bloated.
Oh, bloated.
bloated
Oh,
as well. Like the way that combat works is you get stronger. It's a game like there was recently an article about this where they talked about like players would start at level 3 to 5 and then end at level 10. No game would go to like the past level 10.
Yeah, Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's like most games don't even the characters don't even get to level 20 most of the time
Exactly.
unless the GM
Yeah.
really wants to drag it out that long, which usually if the game is that long, it's probably already 5 years in the making, and the GM probably wants to start a new campaign at that
I
point.
think
Exactly.
the highest level character I've seen was from the end of season 2 of Critical Role.
What level were they?
I don't know. I think they're upward. I think they're 15, something like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like 15s are probably.
Yeah.
Actually,
You'll
so
never see 20s unless
with
it's like
the
a
servers
boss
of the
character.
Ghostwood, you guys are gonna. I actually think I told Andrew this, but so for my campaign at the very least, my players are gonna end at level 12. Because essentially, I think you saw my stream title how I had chapter 3, the usurpers. So I'm breaking it down into kind of chapters where I want the story to go, or
Kinda
however
like-
they take it.
Probably like story beats.
Yeah, essentially. So every time that there's a new chapter, it's a new like major story beat. And at the end of the campaign, they're gonna essentially level up once per chapter. So at the end of the campaign, they're gonna be level 12. And then in the second campaign, I strongly urge them to use the same characters as in the first campaign.
Okay.
Yes, and then they're gonna
So it's
continue
like
to level
yeah.
up. And
It's
then
a different campaign.
yeah,
Or
they're
a
gonna
different
end at level somewhere
style.
around level 16, 17, depending on where I want it to end. And then for the third campaign, they're gonna make new characters.
Yeah, then
Old characters are still gonna be kind of floating around in the world and doing their
Like
thing
that,
in the
yeah.
actual
Yeah,
world.
it's an evolving world. I like that a lot.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
do the same thing. I'm doing the same thing. I just posted in the hosts and guests the artwork from our game.
Oh yeah.
You can see they're
Dude,
like
I
the
absolutely
PCs.
adore those.
The PCs are there. My characters are there. Like my one I got done as a commission for a birthday present. But you can see the evolution of like one of the characters where he like got absolutely fucking wrecked, and then one of them's got that massive scar over his face now because we've been playing for so long. They've had like all these trials and tribulations and
Wow, so you have like
Uh,
these just new portraits for basically what's in the happening at that moment. That's actually pretty cool.
yeah. We actually have new ones, but I've not got the photos of them. The guy with the one eye changed his hair. He's had a haircut. He's changed
Oh,
his hair.
nice.
Like the
That's white
very
hair
last
now.
one reminds me of Beast Boy from fucking Teen Titans, dude.
Oh yeah, he. The thing is, like the artist, we described the character. His name's Gorutar, and the guy who's playing him's never played D&D before. This is his first roleplay game.
Oh, okay.
And he's a very corporate dude, very business minded.
Oh my
and,
god.
And he was just like, oh yeah, I'll call my guy Gorutar. He's an orc, right? And then he described he's like Clark Kent as an orc, so he just like Clark Kent like a looking motherfucker.
It's nice to see.
That's very spot on. I love it.
Yeah, it's nice to hear like people from different backgrounds, like especially you don't really would see a businessman play a role-playing game of all
Do
things.
you wanna know my group composition, right? So you
Yes.
got me.
Oh my
You got
god.
me, who's like the generic dorky nerd guy. Who's
Yeah.
like, do you want to play D&D and pretend? We've got a professional artist for like 3D modeling and like video game development. I think he's like some kind of bank or investment worker. Then we have a optometrist surgeon, a
Oh my
professional eye
goodness.
surgeon.
oh my god.
Is he the guy that got his eye screwed up?
No, that's the
Okay.
that's the girl with the red hair. She's the halfling. The guy with the hair screwed up's the VFX artist. Then the dwarf is he's also an artist, but he's a professional chef. He's just like a full on like he's a really high level, like 5-star, literally 5-star chef. The elf with the scar on his face is one of the head advertising agents for Play Asia. He handles Play Asia's all the stuff like that, and he's like the head of the advertising. And so I'm here, and I'm like, "What do you do, Reese?" I make up the funny men.
That's great. I
Yeah.
really love hearing
Grimblow. That's me.
yeah, I really love hearing stuff like this, seeing people from different cultural backgrounds and like work backgrounds come to play tabletop games because you
Yeah.
In Hong Kong, it's really common because the environment is very like a lot of business, a lot of bankers, a lot like the majority of expats are like education, teaching, and then you have like bankers and artists. So like, and then like my group is like Japanese, Hong Kong, Filipino, Australian, and a Brit.
Wow.
It's very diverse group of people, and they're all horny bastards. So it's that's the joke we're saying. We're saying the game like they're like, wow, your game's just full of really hot people. I'm like, I'm not the one fucking drawing them. I'm not the one drawing them. My friend, she made everyone hot. I'm just running with the theme.
That's
Everyone's
the vibe.
incredibly
That's the
good
vibe.
looking.
Everyone's just hot.
Yeah. That's my dog, sorry. I'll put
you're
him
fine.
away. I'll put him
You're
in
fine.
jail.
I-
Come on, go.
Oh.
Oh no, doggo!
He's got a big dog.
Reminds me of Meatball.
Yo, Meatball tackled me almost. when we were at your
Bro,
house.
we love
we get-
Meatball. Meatball's
We
amazing.
get people come by the farm a lot, so she gets set off. She gets
Oh,
Mhm.
I see.
The thing is, in my stream, when we put her away now, that's been called gay baby jail. It's like putting the dog in gay baby jail.
Oh, yo, let's pull a piece out of history. Remember the old Discord AFK channel, Will? I believe it was called
the
Cuck
Cuck
Shed. The Cuck Shed.
Oh my god. You're off to the cock shed, boy. Get your Batman costume on, you're off to the cock shed.
Yep. It was just we were like most of the admins would just sit in the chat sending each other to the Cuck Shed.
Yeah, pretty much.
5
It's like,
minutes to the cock shed.
you are condemned to the cuck
Yeah.
shed. Now go.
Take the tiger bomb and rub raw, my friend. Have you guys been playing any other games other than D&D?
I have been playing so
At
many
the moment,
games.
no, I haven't personally. I actually Eldon here.
I'm
he
the
was my
resident
first-
gamer.
Yeah, he was my first DM.
Resident
Um,
gamer.
And if you go look in the World Anvil. That I posted
Be
today-
careful looking
Oh,
at
yeah,
my
sorry.
Steam profile.
Oh yeah, be careful looking at my Steam profile as well.
Yeah, we
I'll just throw that out there. my this is Xi Jinping gaming.
That was Xi Jinping Esports, but the picture
Oh,
is something that would
yeah.
definitely get someone in
Oh,
trouble.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. And then mine is General Mao gaming.
Yeah.
General Mao game.
General Mao Gaming.
Mao's kitchen.
Yeah, so
But if you look at the World Anvil, you'll actually see the Golden Coast. That was all Eldon. And
Yeah.
so actually
on a
I've been
whim,
playing
I
Golden
just
Coast
developed
before.
a story.
Yeah. So Dunman and Danenfell, all him, 100% him. And then I kind of used Dunman and Danenfell as a starting point for myself because I'm like naturally a storyteller. And so I was,
Naturally, I'm like, yeah, naturally a storyteller.
up.
Me who just like built a society.
Hey, Will, I
What's up?
think you forgot. Did you change the placeholder name?
Or,
I did. If you
did.
go in there and you refresh it, oh wait, it's
I mean,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think I
no,
know.
it's I haven't changed it all in there just yet. But I have. If you look at the embed now, it should be different. No, okay, it might take a little bit to
It's
update.
Falmouth.
then.
Falmouth's my favorite
yeah,
place
it
in
shows.
England.
It shows it as.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows it as Zeo.
But so
Zeoda.
that, yes, so that is 100%. Well, not 100%, but it's like 80% my stuff. So all of the Golden Coast was all Eldon.
And the inner
everything
stuff
else
is a.
So
is what
Eldon,
I've-
are you like the co-GM then? Is it like a co-GM kind of thing?
it
No,
is-
I kind of passed it on to him. I've done GM, but
He's
I've done
actually a
GM stuff.
player- Yeah, he's a player character in this
Yeah.
campaign, but he's like some of the ideas and stuff is passed by him only
Mhm.
purely because the world was originally his,
Mhm.
and his
Oh,
campaign was
okay.
ended abruptly, and we wanted to kind of continue it. We kind of time skipped it a bit because
Yeah.
Only like I think the time difference from like my
It was, like,
campaign to yours is like 2 months.
three-
That's it.
No, it was 3 years. I made it.
3 years? Oh, okay.
3
So it's
years.
even
Wow,
longer.
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my campaign ended, and I'm working on a one shot for the ending of my campaign. But
Oh yeah, I can't wait to play that in.
the full conclusion is without the actual final battle being completely ruined. There's a massive revolution that like completely shuts off the Bane Trade Center for like the
Because
rest of
if you look at the
the
map
rest of the
itself-
inner lands.
Dunman is pretty much a straight shot into the 12's Wood, which if you read the 12's Wood thing, essentially it is this massive like geopolitical.
Yeah, that's
trade
like
center.
the main major city of
Yes.
trade I can see. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that like the
Um,
center of the Ronda Kingdom?
Where'd you post
Very
the weird
rich and very
link?
drunk.
Yes.
So the major countries is like the Elven one, Twelveswood, and then Gavaria.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. This is funny because you had Falmouth, and that's like my favorite place in the UK to go.
Oh
It's
wait, is
where
that
I
an
wanna move-
actual? Is that an actual place?
Yeah, on the coast of Cornwall. It's my favorite place in Cornwall.
Wait, actually, fun
Falmouth.
fact: I have family from Cornwall.
I love it. Falmouth is my favorite place to go.
Falmouth's
I'm
an
going back
actual
there
place.
Yeah, I'm going there next summer. We go there every time I go to England.
What?
It's very
Oh,
nice.
I didn't know that.
What's up?
I got that from a random name generator.
Yeah, Falmouth is amazing. It's so good. It's so pretty.
I like how Falmouth
Um,
Slums is just a lake on my screen.
Well, no, yeah, no, that's literally what it is. I haven't actually
You haven't put
put-
something down for
put
you.
anything there just yet. But so how you were saying how like they were kind of hopping throughout the world in your campaign. It's pretty much the same thing here. I'll kind of give a brief overview as to how things have gone this far and then where I generally want people to go. So because I have two of my player characters in here, I don't want to spoil anything. So it started over in Dunman, and then they passed through Danenfell and then into Whaledrake. Whaledrake was actually the first place that was made by me, because it's popped up in the years since Dunman has kind of closed off their mountain pass because of the Naha Rebellion that we were speaking of earlier.
I think
so they went-
it's the Naha Rebellion, but I gave it something like a more code name, didn't I?
I have no idea.
It was like the Red Flag Rebellion or something like that.
Yeah,
I gave it like two
okay.
different names just because I was like, what sounds cooler?
So they went from Whaledrake. They passed underneath those mountains right there along the shoreline, through Drake's Pass, over the river, and then into Hopestown. And then from Hopestown, they then went into Ruvel Kingdom, which started Chapter 2. So all of that was Dunman, Danenfell, Whaledrake, and Hopestown was all Chapter 1. And then Chapter 2, we get to Ruvel Kingdom, which Chapter 2 is titled Of Shades and Souls. And essentially what it is that they get there, and their player characters from the one-shot that I had done prior to the Usurpers of the Twelveswood, which I titled The Heretical Omen. Essentially, their player characters were there, right? At the end of that one shot, they were placed in a catatonic state by unknown magic. And
like completely like prior
Yes.
stasis almost. What it's
yes,
like.
Yeah.
they had a really cool experience with a character known as Maura. Maura, she is what is known as the agent of the seamstress. The seamstress is essentially the god of gods.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yes. The seamstress, she rules over everything. She is essentially fate. She is the world going round.
Yeah.
And so Maura is the agent of the seamstress, and the seamstress also commands this thing known as the soul stream. And so Maura, instead of seeing your physical being most of the time, she can only see your soul. Right?
Oh, okay. So she sees you just like a glowing orb kind of thing.
Sort of, in a sense. Shut up, Windows. They don't need to be updated.
What if it does?
So Maura, she looks at these old player characters, and then once Din or Eldon, once Din kind of gets there, because Din knew Maura previously, because Din is essentially an arcane lawyer. Which, if we have time for that, his backstory is fucking hilarious. But
What the fuck? My VR cable's wrapped around my chair.
So they get there, and Maura just kind of like does a double take. She's like, "Wait a minute." She looks at Eldon's old character, Stonk.
The best little druid. The best little druid ever.
Yeah, little druid. So she looks at Stonk, looks at Din, looks at Stonk, looks at Din. You have the same fucking soul!
Oh,
Kind
wow.
of thing, you know what I mean?
Goddamn.
So, and how I'm doing it is that my players, Zarius, for example, right? Andrew right here.
Hello. Yeah.
Zarius, his soul is Andrew's soul. So
How does that work?
So essentially, Maura can see, instead of looking at Zarius, Maura sees Andrew.
Okay.
She doesn't see Zarius. So whenever she looks at Din, she sees Eldon. And so she can see that they're linked, right? Because obviously these other people have the same soul.
Yeah.
And so essentially they kind of kindle with their old character in a sense, where they are essentially sent to the astral realm, this almost kind of dream realm where they are shown
Those are Steve's.
all of the creatures that are bound to their soul. So, and Eldon, you're more than welcome to mute Deafin for this because Andrew already knows what happens.
Hmm?
This was like a little personal player thing. Eldon, please mute Deafin.
Bruh. Yeah, you guys can't hear him on the stream now. Get fucked. He doesn't realize that I can stay. You're not on stream anymore. You know what?
So Andrew got to talk to himself, and himself at the same time. Totally not a crazy person, but it was a really cool experience.
Yeah. It sounds like you've got a lot of like cool lore for the gods and stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Honestly,
Absolutely.
when Will was doing this, and when I was in the moment, I honestly didn't really know what to say. Like it was all out of the blue. I didn't really have anything like to plan to roleplay this out, so I just sat there and was like, you know what? I'll try and make it work.
You can
Um,
see
It was like one of those things.
I just posted to the hosts and guests the map that I made for my game, The World. You can see that. Now, the players drew a dog. on there.
Dog. Fucking funny, dude.
They drew a dog on there, but that's like all the markings are basically like military
Awesome.
operations. It's
wow.
a very big campaign. So there's like military operations and traveling routes and
Yeah.
where they want to go and points of interest. But it's been they've traveled to almost every part of that map. Where are they now? They started in Londo.
No
see that
relation to
red line where
London.
well, it was based off of I went for full Dark Souls. I like
Oh.
Londo, and Londo.
As a Dark Souls aficionado, I like that.
Oh boy, oh man, I'm big time Dark Souls boy.
I've beaten all of them except for
Yeah,
Demon
same.
Souls.
I beat Demon Souls. I've
Yeah?
done all of them, every single one. But I don't like Dark Souls 2 at all. I don't like that one at all. I like the
You don't like
story,
Dark
though.
Souls
I don't-
2?
No, I don't like Dark
It's
Souls. I
so
love the
good.
story. I love the story, but I don't like the game.
Yeah, Dark Souls
favorite's
2.
Bloodborne.
Yeah, Bloodborne's the best. Dark Souls 2, it added a system called power stancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I'm excited
it,
for Elden Ring.
yeah, because now they modified the power stancing to be more
Man,
similar
Elden
to
Ring's gonna be
dual
great.
wielding.
I hope it's good.
So,
But
oh, sorry, I'll let you
we'll
continue.
go back to this.
Yeah, stay on
They've been
focus.
now. Let me see where they've been. They've been to Londo. They've been to the Iron Empire. The main baddies, should I say, are the Farians, but they're not really baddies. They're just like they're a majocracy where their entire like thought is if you cannot use magic, you're a second class citizen. You're below them. So like
So
and they're
it's-
also terrified of clerics because
that
cleric
kind of
magic
like
they don't-
reminds me of. It reminds me of a certain anime. I'm pretty sure you've heard of it, My Hero Academia, because
Oh, really? I thought you were gonna
Quirkless,
mention
quirkless.
literally that. If you can't use a quirk in that society, you are literally considered like scum.
You're just shitting on
That's
Black
like-
Clover.
Yeah, Black Clover as well.
You're like in My Hero, it's like less than 2% of the population's born without
Yeah.
quirk, or something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas like in this, it's their entire culture's like they follow a very strict mage code. They commune with the arcane, but they
Man,
don't
that
like
does sound
clerics.
a lot like Black Clover then.
They don't like clerics with cleric magic. They don't understand because they're like, how do you talk to gods? How does god magic work? And they're terrified. They're
does.
The
terrified,
power
they're
of
terrified of dwarves and
Jesus.
halflings because in my setting, dwarves and halflings have magic resistance.
Oh,
So if they catch a dwarf, they will literally dissect it to figure out how the hell it works.
What? Bro,
Yeah,
imagine one of your player characters is a dwarf just strides in there.
he hates him. He hates him because
Oh, yeah.
his brother got killed by them he got caught by them because his brother was a smuggler.
raining?
And so then we've got, where are they now? Right now they're in Atarashi, which is my not to Japan.
My not Japan.
Yeah. We've got not Japan, we've got not Italy or Rome, not Egypt. That's Nekahara, Dondane. Dondane was like a really good set. That's where that one character lost his eye. He got his eye. He's got a really good backstory where he's like an ex mafioso hitman. He was basically in love with the one of the head guys in the group, but then he refuses to like kill an entire family of like women and children and stuff. So his lover betrays him. And then they did this whole story where they go back into that kingdom to go assassinate one of these political partners who is aiding in this war. He gets captured, tortured by his ex-lover, and his ex-lover plucks his eye out of his head.
Oh.
Brands his eye, brands it with a magic seal that it can never be killed. He can never recover it.
Oh.
No.
In my setting, the Egyptian place, Nekahara, uses a system of slavery where they can brand their slaves with tattoos and markings to cause pain, to track them. But also, if it's for like punishment, they can like chop off a limb, brand it, and then it can never heal. It will never recover. Yeah, and it's like, but it's done like it's supposed to look really pretty though, because it's like all these tattoos and drawings that look very pretty, but really it's horrible because it's like restricting any kind. And again,
awesome.
healing my setting is very restricted. There's no like revivification or resurrection. It's like you can get, if you want to get like a limb back, you have to go to like alchemists, and the alchemists can like make you like a metal fake arm, like Full Metal Alchemist style.
Oh, that's interesting.
But it's not like steampunky. It's more like biomechanical. Like it fuses with your muscles.
Yeah, like a Warforged.
Like a Warforged. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love Warforged.
This character's now like on a mental breakdown because he's like he's reliving this trauma of having his eye. They're right now having a martial arts tournament. They're in a martial arts tournament.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
That makes sense then.
They're in a martial arts tournament because they want to get the head of this clan. They're trying to get a piece of this weapon that can kill a demon. So it's like, do you remember Sekiro, the Mortal Blade in Sekiro?
Oh yeah.
That's what they're trying to make. But they said like all these clans during their like warring states period separated this weapon because they were like, oh, they used it eons ago to kill a demon, but now they're fighting, so they broke it apart and separated it. And they're trying to get this put together, so they're doing these feats and trials and labors to get the pieces back together. So it's an excuse to throw yokai at them, because I love yokai. Like,
they are very awesome.
Yeah,
Japanese ghosts are so my favorite.
I've got some really good 3D print minis of them. I've got some like katakuri zombie dolls, which are like the wooden ones with like blade arms and sword arms, and they did a whole quest inside of a creepy mansion for Halloween. Where they fought against the. Have you seen the movie House?
Yes.
Japanese like that. It was like a living house, and the main guy was like this small daimyo whose son was cursed by a kitsune to waste away and wither, and so he transferred his soul into a doll. But into needing to do that, he needed like a lot of life energy to do it, so he sacrificed all the servants and guards in his house. But instead of them being like, oh, they just disappeared, they turned into this one room of flesh that writhes.
Oh my god!
Mouths, gibbering mouths, and it's like this one pulsating room at the main. He's in there, like melded in the wall, all to bring his son back to life. So it was really cool fight, and I had really good music for it.
That actually,
I found effects of like the being squeezed. So the whole fight, all they can hear is meat and ooze. It was like, oh, this is gross.
I honestly really want to get with the with an SFX artist, and because I've got a few friends of mine who actually I actually sent you. Ooh, sorry, I bumped my mic. I actually sent you some of the some of the art stuff.
Really good. Really good.
The person that I sent you their Twitter, Sarah, they are getting into animation, and I'm 100% considering getting a few things animated, like a few scenes.
Let me post my friend's Instagram actually. Hold on, so you can see she good.
What? I just found this out, Will. What the fuck? So you know that entire Smash Bros allegation thing?
What about it?
Zero has came back.
Because didn't he? Wasn't he one of the accused?
He was accused, but
Accuse didn't he admit it? Hold up. Accuse is different. I'm pretty sure he admitted to it. All right.
And he admitted something, but I guess now he's coming back.
He's coming back
mean,
to touch more
it seems
kids.
It seems like everyone has it seems like everyone has forgotten everything, or at least they've kind of brushed past it.
He's back and more pedo than ever. Hide your kids.
But I'm really
So I
honestly
posted-
considering commissioning Sarah for an animation of like some fights.
That'd be so
Um,
cool. I'd love to do something like that.
Oh yeah. Like
I
I
just
wanna...
posted in sorry,
Give
I
me-
just put in host and guests, the girl who does all the art for my game. I want to give her a shout out, Kay Wintel, on Instagram. She does all the art, and she's also my friend who cosplays with me. She did the Cassandra character for Resident Evil.
Oh yeah.
Done a bunch of cosplay with me. We've been good friends, best friend in Hong Kong. She's playing the one-eyed guy in my game. That's her character, Bruce. It was her proper first full D&D game, because we've played a few games over the years, but this was like her first long D&D campaign. And so she made Bruce as she said, "Can I be Australian?" And I was like, she's Australian. And I was like, well, we have to make an Australian country then. So we made the island of Australia.
Australia. You could have named it
It's like-
Straya.
Yeah, Straya. It was Straya. It's like we
Oh.
call it Straya. But we're like, it's famed for its like mines and dangerous wildlife, which is known to be able to kill a man easily. And I'm like, oh Jesus! So
I've
she
actually
started.
got a little bit of an Australia going.
This is-
That's amazing.
Dangerous
funny
wildlife
though,
and
because
corrupt
she-
politicians.
She started the game, and he was like a joke character. His whole stick was he's Australian. He'd be like, "Oh, Mike's getting on here, mate, aye." But then all of a sudden, like, he's had the biggest, most dramatic arc in the game, where he's like, his lovers come back, and he got tortured, he's had his eye taken out, and he's having this mental trauma. He lost his best friend, was murdered in front of him.
Oh
because
my
he was, like,
god.
he implicated her in this assassination plot. She didn't know. It was such a good scene because he was like, he faked his identity, created a new one, brought this poor innocent girl into this like web of intrigue. Then she finds out he's an assassin, and she's like, I whatever you're doing it for a good reason. You're a good person. He's like, when I'm done with all this and it's all blown over, we can see each other again. And she's like hugging him, and then this fist just erupts through her chest. And one of their allies that's been with them for the past like
Oh.
3 months was this undercover assassin who's been following them the whole time. And
Shit.
he kills her in front of him and then beats the shit out of him.
Oh my god.
Holy fuck.
I played the long con because I made this character. His name was Anam, and he was like this. He was like, "Oh, I'm a trader of information. I'm a spice trader. I'm a scholar." And they were like, "Oh, we love this guy. He's so fun because he would like make these drinks. It was like an alcoholic beverage for wizards and sorcerers to drink that would boost their mana. But it would like, if you weren't a magic user, it would make you like insanely intoxicated. So like you would just be like seeing colors and stuff like that. It was like a weird like mana brew. And there was a part where they were working with this girl. The only reason they brought this girl into the game was because like I planned it, of course, but she was a cryptozoologist who would like, she wanted to use monsters for practical uses instead of just killing them. She's like, we can train them to do stuff. We can have like, you know, a roper be like a security weapon against people, and we can do this, and we can do this. And she's like, I think we need to study monsters and their alchemaic uses. And so she's like, oh, I need to get like basilisk glands, and I need to collect these like other parts from this like kobold den. So they go up there, and the kobolds are like, they won't let them in. They're like, you're outsiders. Get out of our area. We've already been chased away by a black dragon. We don't want to deal with anyone else. And
A
he
bunch
was
of
like, "I can help
kobolds?
you." Yeah.
Like,
these little
chased away
kobolds.
by a dragon, though.
Yeah, in my system, they don't worship dragons.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were like, we've lost our den already. We're like, our group, our clan is smaller, and they can barely speak English. They're kind of like yapping at them. And he's like, I speak Draconic. I can speak to them. And he's like, bring me along and I'll talk to them. So they were like, here's where you sow the seeds. And he comes and talks to them, and they make good friends with these kobolds, help the kobolds deal with these problems they have to deal with. They're like, we love this guy. And one of my players is like, I bet he's a dragon. I bet he's a dragon in human form. I bet he's going to be really cool. And then immediately fucking betrays them. It's like we had months of him hanging out with them and going on adventures with them, and then what happened? What was even sadder is they hooked up. They did a matchmaker where this Anam character starts dating the zoologist girl, and they're like, "Oh, they're so cute. They're so cute together." But really, he was just working his way into their group to like get close to them because he knew he had to find this one-eyed character,
Wow.
and like he
That's
like gets
actually
close to them.
insane.
He's like dating the
So
girl.
fucking good.
They're
That's
like,
so
"Oh,
good.
it was so sweet." And when we're all together, and then the girl's named Gwen, by the way. Gwen's like at this big gala where the assassination happens. Like this player needs to kill one of the Farian nobles who's doing weapons trading with Dondane, like illegal magical item trading. And then like he woos this noble. He uses his like charisma to woo her. He lures her up to a gallery in this massive palace, stabs her with this like little needle that has like this drow venom in it that kills her. And it's actually quite a sad scene because she's like frothing at the mouth, and he's
Yeah.
like, he faked that they were in love with each other, and she was like holding onto his face as she's dying, and he's like, Jesus Christ. And then Gwen walks in on him because they're about to go at it as well. Like, Anam and Gwen are like passionately in throes of like just about to go at it. Like, oh Christ, we've walked in on your assassination attempt. Oh my God. And he's like, help me hide the body. I'll explain everything. And they do. He's like, Anam, you watch the door. Gwen, help me move the body. And Gwen's like, I don't understand what's happening, but I know whatever it is, it's for a good cause. You're a good person. You've done nothing but good so far. And he's like, yes, you don't. This is. I can't tell you.
Oh
She's
my
like, I
god.
can't tell you what. She's like, I can't tell you what's happening, but once this is all over, I'll see you again. And she's like hugging him, and she's like holds him on the face and pecks him on the cheek. And then I played a sound clip of just, and they're like, what was that? And then I'm like, you look down, blood's all over your face. You look down and see a fist has gone through her chest. And she looks at the fist and she just says, what? And then dies. And then an arm standing behind her, stone-faced, his fist and forearm just covered in gore. And he's like, you should never have involved the girl. And then he beats the shit out of this other player.
Holy
out of him.
shit.
That's like
Literally just-
that's like a literal reverse Uno card right there. You just like
Yes.
slap all of this in front of your players.
Holy shit.
They're sitting there like, what the fuck just happened?
You wouldn't believe that everyone in chat was just going, what? What? Because I was like, it wasn't like it was a proper. Oh, they start fighting. It was just like a roleplay thing because he just
Yeah.
beats the fuck out of him. He's like throwing him through these glass exhibit cabinets, and he's hanging him over the ledge, choking
It's
him.
more
and
like
he's-
the
Yeah.
foreplay, you know?
yeah.
It's the
And
foreplay.
then we ended the session there, and then all the players are PMing me on my phone like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, you have to do something like that, dude. That shit sounds so
man,
good.
I want to say something. I don't want to fucking spoil
Just
anything.
don't spoil
I'm
it.
not
Just
gonna
don't
spoil
spoil it.
anything.
That
Like-
took so long to set up because
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
I'm
what I
not gonna
call
spoil
like
anything.
total dedication right there. I like it when like, okay, when you're watching a show or like participating in a tabletop game. I like it when you get to know this character and you think they're all friendly. Like several seasons later, they're still like the most friendliest person ever, and all of a sudden, big reverse Uno card, they pull something on you, and you're just sitting there like, huh? What the fuck just happened?
Dude, check the host and guest. I post the art there of what he looks like. He's the middle one. He's the
Oh.
middle guy.
He's literally just fucking Caesar.
He's like a little. He's
he
like a
looks
little.
like
nice...
he's just Caesar.
He looks like.
But then this is what I based him off. This is the art I found that was his inspiration, right? Because it's supposed to be like an Egyptian kind of trading guy.
Ah, I see.
Right? But then this is what they how they see him now. Because my friend drew him. Let me show you. This is how he looks like to them now. After he killed Gwen.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
that-
I love that. That's
That's
awesome.
valid.
That's-
Okay, like the first
100%
iteration.
valid.
Yeah, the first iteration, he looks like a humble guy,
Yeah.
and in the very last part, my man's like a full-on cold stone killer. They all see it now.
That's the girl. That's the girl. They killed Gwen, and everyone loved her. Like a Disney, they drew her like a Disney princess. She was like a little Disney girl, and she was like really peppy and friendly. And
I don't
to
even
this
know the
day,
character that much, and
to
I'm just seeing this now.
this day, they still get upset when they hear about Gwen because I did a scene where I mentioned in her backstory, like it wasn't a backstory, but she said like, oh, I grew up in Elionos, which is like the Drow kingdom. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I studied in Eleanos, and I grew up there, and it was, and I moved to Dundane to study more. They have better facilities here." And then now in this martial art tournament, they meet some drow fighters, and one of them is this youngish girl, and they were like, "Oh, we were in Dundane and we were doing all this stuff, and we met this girl, Gwen." She's like, "Gwen?" She's like, I studied with her. I studied with her. I wonder how she is. It's like she's my best friend." And the player's like, "Oh, no!"
Oh no!
Because I mentioned that Gwen studied with this drow girl who was studying ancient lizards, and then this drow girl can like shapeshift into dinosaurs. That's why I got the T-Rex. She can shapeshift into T-Rexes and stuff. And then she's like, "Yeah, I studied with Gwen. We were best friends. I've not heard of her for years because she moved to Dundane." And I'm like, "Yep, she's dead." And no
Man,
one's told
if
her.
I was playing in that campaign, my character would have been like, "Man, let's just not say anything." And
So, do you want to hear the really
Go.
fucked up thing? I'm gonna gush a little bit here. So I'm sorry if I'm rambling.
No,
It's
no, you're
alright.
fine. We fucking love this.
This is one of my things. So the player with the one eye, there's all the other players in the game. Like they've got good characters, but like one of them is the dwarf character is playing more of a man versus self story, where like he failed to protect people and he was like beaten in this like fight, and now he's started worshipping a orc god of battle, and he's like getting corrupted by its influence. He found like an altar to it and started making this
wait, no, I know who
makeshift
you're talking
thing.
about. I know who you're talking about. I don't remember the name.
Oh no, it's an original god. His name's
Oh, I
Rukaf.
see.
I called him Rukaf. It's a black
see.
lion.
I see.
And it's he's been like talking to it in his dreams, and he keeps seeing it like other people can't see it. It's like this black lion that prowls around him. Anyway, so the other character, this rogue Bruce, started off as a joke, but then because of all the events he's gone through, now he's super like mentally tortured and upset. So in this martial arts tournament, he fought against a poison user who was called Yesri, and she specialized in neurotoxins and psychological potions. And he went up to her and he's like, "Listen, I want to clear things up before we fight in this tournament. In the previous fight, she fought against this really powerful like wild man named Tam Tam, and she just cut him once, and he started like foaming at the mouth and going nuts and passed out. And she's like, 'Don't do that to me.' He's like, 'We're friends. We've been friends for this tournament. Don't do that. I don't want to be embarrassed in this tournament.'"
Oh!
If you're gonna beat me fair and
Okay,
square,
he
it's
cut out
like,
for
I
just
would
a
never
few
do that.
moments.
But when she fights him, oh, sorry, am I back? Am I okay? Can you
It's a
hear me?
little laggy. Yep, I think we're catching up.
You're
Oh,
like,
sorry.
here, try turn off your camera and turn it back on.
I think it's just catching up. I think the internet's.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Oh,
Yeah,
so
there
much
we
better.
go.
Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, where did I get? What did you hear before? Where did I get to?
We're friends. Don't do this to me.
Oh yeah, so she's like, "We're friends. So I would never do that to you." Then when they fight, the way she fights as well, because she's a wood elf kind of thing, and in my setting, the wood elves are really, really mysterious and clandestine. No one knows how they really study magic, and like her thing is like the palm of her hand would open up, and she would like pull out like a sword out of a hand made of like vines and roseberries and stuff.
So cool.
And she hits him once. She hits him just once, and he gets pricked by the needles of this thing, and then he starts tripping out. But he's not having like it's not a muscle toxin. It's not like a toxin that's going to paralyze you or anything. He starts hallucinating.
Oh my god.
And what he hallucinates is like he's in a like a mirrored pond. Like, you know, outside the White House is that mirrored pond. The reflecting pond. The reflecting pond. Sorry, it's like so.
Something like Ocarina of Time, like that temple thing.
Yeah, so he's standing in this reflecting pool of just blood. And all he can see is one body bobbing up and down, and he kind of has to go up to it, and he turns it over, and it's Gwen. And he's like holding her in his arms, he's like, "Oh my god," he's like having this trauma. And then her eyes open, and she starts just saying his name over and over again, whispering. But then like more copies of her body start crawling out of the water, climbing on his body.
dude,
And like
I would
all
like
these
to see that
clammy
animated.
hands, all these clammy hands like pulling him down into the water, and he's fighting against it, and all they're saying is his name over and over and over and over, and they pull him under, and then he's like upside down, standing on the ceiling, looking down at this like floor, and she's dead on the floor. and he's like seeing the scene again, but like in this reverse. He's going mental.
Yeah.
And then during his interrogation, when he was caught by the mafia, they used you know Nothix, right? Remember Nothix? In the what's it called again? The Lost Mines of Phandelver. There's a monster called a Nothix, which is like a one-eyed little thing, and it can like psychically communicate with you.
Yeah.
So I created my own offshoots of them. There's like different types, and one of them's called the Observer, and it's this like 6'5" Nothix that's like a big kind of like mushroom head, and it has long tendrils that go inside your like skin, and they go into they work their way through your ears into your brain, and they can like read your brain and memories and trace details about you. It's like it's an interrogation technique, and he's been permanently traumatized by it because he was like mind assaulted by this creature, and so like he ends up like in this room where he was tortured again, like in his little hallucinogen, and he starts holding his eye patch, and the eye patch erupts, and all these tentacles pour out of his head and like spill onto the floor, and it makes the shape of his ex-lover who tortured him. And that triggers, instead of like, it was supposed to be a flight response, but instead he just goes berserk and like jumps on it and starts pounding it with his bare hands, and he's like clenching his teeth so hard, like it's bleeding. And then he suddenly starts to get back to reality, and he's hearing the crowd like going, "Oh my god!" and straight, and there's like the referees there stuff, and he's actually on top of this elven woman just punching her face in.
My only question is: the elven woman okay?
She's fine, but she was like badly hurt.
Yeah.
And the last session we had was him dealing with the aftermath of that, because now he's realizing he thought he like found her after she'd been healed. And he's like, "You said you wouldn't do things to me like that. You said you wouldn't show me this kind. What trick was that?" She's like, "I didn't do anything. That's all in your head. Whatever you saw is your memories and your trauma." And now he's like, "Oh god, oh, I'm all fucked up." Like he's having this issue.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
I love that. I
That
really
is-
fucking do.
So this character's going through this whole trying to figure out like all this past trauma. But what I've given him is he got this weapon earlier on in this arc that was like do you know the Nyoibo staff from Dragon Ball, the extending staff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What like Son Wukong? He has
Yeah,
one of
Sun Wu.
those.
It's the actual
Yeah.
thing from the Journey to the West.
Yeah. But this one's like a
The-
jade staff. It's a jade
That's
staff he's got. And inside it is this old yokai that basically lived for like thousands of years, and then when it was tired of fighting and living, it imbued itself into a weapon. And he kind of like was meditating on everything, and he started communing with the weapon, and he went into the weapon's like spiritual realm and spoke to it, and now he's got this mentor in this weapon, and he really likes it, and I'm really happy. It's kind of become this whole thing where he's like, yeah, I've got this little
really cool.
character he can commune with, who's been alive for like thousands of years. We're gonna run with that this week. I'm excited. We're gonna continue with that.
Very nice. I think that's the one thing that, especially me as a new dungeon master, it's gonna be hard for me to kind of figure out how to get my player characters to develop, while I'm also simultaneously building a story. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you're there like creating your own NPCs who
Yes.
have to develop and change. And
Yes.
You never know how your players will interact with them.
Mm-hmm.
So an example I have
Oh,
is
we interacted them real.
Oh
good.
my god.
We
Okay,
we traumatize these people.
I'll here. Let me. Okay, here. Story time. All right. So,
Din has a kill count in the hundreds now.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Din's kill count's fucking nuts.
He
So,
used a single
well,
lightning
right,
bolt
so-
and wiped out a tribe of
So
orcs.
one of Din's kills is this. So they were. Din, he already knows exactly what I'm going to talk about. So essentially, they were in Hopestown, right? This was this was just like before the start of chapter 2, right? So they were about to leave Hopestown, and one of my main story NPCs, Noah, he was like, "Hey, go to the inn, go to sleep for the night because we're gonna strap up tomorrow morning at sunrise, and we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna continue this little supply run."
It starts off so simple. I know it's gonna go to chaos.
Oh
though.
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
it's
oh,
gonna
It
relax,
was just-
relax.
it
Oh
was-
yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't kill
So
anybody.
No, it was like, just go ahead and go do your thing. So another thing is that tieflings in my setting very kind of typical. People are very racist towards tieflings
Oh,
because they don't.
yeah.
They don't
I think
yeah.
everyone's.
They-
Every racist
No
towards
matter
them.
what
No,
story it
so-
is, tieflings just get
so
shafted.
tieflings, they're just really not trusted, right? So we have two tieflings. We have Zarius, and then we also have Lilith, as well as a vampire. I think I may have told you about this character, but she's a little bit of a magical oddity. She's a vampire cleric. And so essentially the three guys, Osavar, Din, and Zarius, they typically, go and do their own thing most of the time. Whereas
Causing
Serene
chaos.
and Lilith, they're typically together, and they typically fall behind the group a little bit because they're a little bit more supportive, and they're also very new to tabletop RPGs as a whole. So they
Oh wait, Reese, I
your
think
mic is
your
muted.
your mic's muted on our end.
yeah. It might be your cable crapping out on you.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
One sec. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
I guess we'll see him soon. I posted
Oh my
a picture
God.
of Din in the chat.
This is probably gonna be our longest episode
We're
yet.
we're
but
only an
that's
hour.
great.
We're almost an hour and a half in.
Yeah.
There you go. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Is
Uh,
this better?
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Yes, we can hear you now. Hello.
That was weird. I'm sorry
There you
about
are.
that. Your
you're
mic's
fine.
crapping out on you again.
I posted
But,
a picture
uh,
of Din in the chat.
Yeah,
Oh, let me
that's
see.
the
Is
den.
is that in hosts?
Yeah,
Oh,
hosting
look at
guys.
him.
That is
Oh,
Din.
there's a note thing, yeah.
Um,
The little top. Wait a
No,
minute,
no,
is
that's
that
the Doug Dimmadome hat.
we'll get to
That's
that
the
here in just a
Dimmadome
moment.
hat. Yeah, I was
We'll
gonna
get to
say,
that here in just a
no,
moment.
no.
It's a useless magic item. I'll put it that way.
It's soul bound too.
It's bound to his soul. Yeah.
All right,
It's
get to
bound
it.
his soul.
Soul
Get to the
bound
story.
Dimmadome hat.
So essentially, like I said, Lilith and Serene, they're very new to tabletop RPGs, so they typically lag behind the group a little bit, and that's fine. I let them do their thing generally. I let them have their spotlight, and I let them do their thing. The only thing is that Serene and Lilith, obviously, they find themselves in very odd situations very fast, and like you said with your campaign, they're horny bastards. Right.
Yeah.
So
Everyone's attractive.
Lilith is Lilith's a bard.
Bard.
Yes, a tiefling bard. Whereas Serene, like I said, is the magical oddity known as the vampire cleric. And so, essentially, the three guys, Osavar, or I think that session his name was Osava,
Mm-hmm.
because he's a half elf fighter, and I was like, man, fighter trope is they have very bad memory.
He also rolled
or no,
low.
they're just not very. Yeah, essentially. So
They are
every session
street
before
smart.
he rolled a natural 20, I made him roll a history check to see if he could remember his name.
Yeah, fighters are essentially street smart, but they are not really logically smart.
Yeah. So Osava, Din, and Zarius roll into the inn, and they're like, "Hey, let's get a room." And essentially, I try to make this innkeeper as much of an asshole as possible, because
I didn't let him get
he
away
was
with it.
he was an asshole through and through. Because I mean,
He was instantly racist towards Zarius. And
yeah,
my character did not like
yeah,
that. He was
no,
like, bro,
because
why you
first of all,
gotta
he
be
couldn't see Din, right? He didn't see Din because Din is like 3'5".
Yeah, he's a halfling, or he's a gnome, so he's
Yeah.
real tiny.
So he couldn't see Din because this was before Din had his entrepreneur's hat. And then he only saw Zarius because I think Zarius took point, and he was like, "Hey, it's 6 gold for room for 2 a night, which is a lot, right?" And Zarius was like, "Hey, I'm gonna look around this guy," and he saw a poster behind him that said, "Oh, hey, it's 5 gold for a room for a night."
Oh.
So this dude was, trying to like, "Oh no,
Also,
that's
also-
changed," that kind of stuff. And
Yeah,
so
can't pull that shit on Zarius.
and so
We don't
Zarius,
serve your kind around.
yeah, pretty much. Zarius, like a fucking G, rolls huge in persuasion. And him and the guys go upstairs and grab their rooms and stuff.
Yeah, I was getting pissy
And
now.
then Serene and Lilith finally managed to get there. And he obviously tiefling, same offer, right? As well as he also notices that Serene's a vampire, and he's like, eh.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. How do they react to that in your game? Are they okay with it?
They don't like vampires to say the very least, but
We haven't
what
been
what
kicked
make
out of a
Serene
city yet.
yeah, no. What I make Serene do is roll a wisdom save every now and then to see if she's like still sane because she hardly ever like feasts on blood.
Yeah. Is it like a daywalker vampire or like a
Yes.
vampire or it's a vampire then? Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
essentially, I'm like, hey, roll me a wisdom save, and also she keeps herself covered like 100% all the time.
It's cleric. What kind of cleric is it? Twilight.
Oh Lord,
Of the night,
Boundary.
something night.
yeah, something of the night. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't have
My
my
mind's
unfortunately
blanking.
I don't have my character sheets offhand.
No problem.
But so
I'm literally right now. I'm just looking for. I'm looking for my NPC chart for you to see. Sorry, as
you're
talking,
good.
don't mind me.
But so the same thing happens, but the way that Lilith words who, or excuse me, the way that Serene words who Lilith is to Serene, made it sound like they were lovers, right? Like
Oh,
that, as if they were together, right? Because she was like, oh yeah, that's my partner. That's we traveled
oh,
together.
your partner. Huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He's like, oh, I see, that's your partner. And so he's just generally being an asshole, right? And
Yeah.
so Lilith, being the bard that she is, casts friends on him. Which, if you know what that does, is essentially for 60 seconds. Yeah, exactly. You just he's friendly towards them for 60 seconds. After the 60 seconds is up, however, he understands that she just
What
cast
just
friends on
happened?
him. Yes,
You
exactly.
son of a bitch.
So within 60 seconds, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna go grab a room. We've known you for a long time. Cool, bye."
Wait a minute.
And so they walk upstairs, and the guy's like, "Wait a minute." They just that. So they grab a room. They can hear the guy downstairs like grumbling and like kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Bloody chiefling.
Yeah, pretty much. And so Serene has the best idea ever. Serene's just like, hey, we're gonna go into this room that he told us to go into, and I'm gonna start a fire in there. So she casts on Holy Flame and ignites the fire, and then goes up a floor and gets a different room, not igniting a fire in there and making it look like the door hadn't been moved. Right.
Okay.
And so essentially in the night they had woken up to the sound of a man yelling, and then almost as if he hits the ground and starts to roll.
God, he caught fire.
So essentially, that's all they heard, right? Was essentially just that. They couldn't hear much else. Other than, distant sounds of struggling. And so essentially they wake up and they go downstairs, and Zarius is the first to notice this. Zarius sees what looks like burned burlap under this guy's chair, right? Or like around this guy's chair and around his room. And everyone's just kind of like looking around like, what the fuck happened? Like they go like Serene and Lilith, they go into the room, and the fire's no longer out, but they can see like burned skid marks on the ground almost. Looks like something was burning and then being rubbed against the ground. And so Zarius rolls like a fucking 27 in stealth or some shit like that as this other lady is going into his room. So Zarius is like, cool, I'm just gonna slip in front of this lady. She's not gonna notice me. And then Din rolled straight up a natural 1 and gets the door slammed in his face.
It didn't stop him. It did stop him.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. So Zarius is like, cool, I'm gonna clamber onto this dresser. Nobody can see me because I've got a 27 in stealth.
Yeah.
Right? And so he clambers up onto the dresser, and Zarius can clearly see this guy has third-degree burns all over his left leg.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
Right?
horrible.
And just his pants have been burned all the way up to the middle of his thigh.
I didn't think
Right.
it would be that bad, but
I mean, Unholy Flame can really do something. I'll put it that way.
it's unholy,
so-
all right.
So this lady, she's going in there. She's got aloe. She's got wet rags to put on his legs to try and treat this in some way, shape, or form.
Didn't Ozava
and
like assault the woman?
we're getting to that.
How do you handle that kind of healing in your setting? Is healing magic like boom, you're fine?
So she wasn't a mage because Hopestown is it's not a massive town, but they do have healers because they're right next to the 12th wood, right? So they can essentially be like, hey, we need a healer, and then someone will be there within a couple of days. And so she's just trying to tend to it as much as she can without magic, right?
Because that's a good excuse. Like one of the few skills you'd never really use is medicine use properly.
Yeah.
I have been trying to use it.
Yeah, no.
I think it's a common thing with D&D is a lot of the skills are hardly ever used.
Yeah,
Same with
no,
proficiency, like
yeah.
brewery and metalwork. Like
Yeah.
hardly ever use it. But my group, I'm like, you gotta use it.
Yeah.
You fucked. You gotta repair it.
So actually, speaking on that, the first thing we ever did was I used gnome cunning and some.
Armor.
Yeah, I made probably the best armor I've ever made because I rolled a natural 20 while crafting it. So I think it was like the
Heavy armor that's classified as medium.
yeah, it was heavy armor was classified
Oh,
medium,
wow,
and
that's
it was had the stats of plate mail
Yeah.
or no
Shit,
splint
that's
mail.
good.
Yeah.
Well, what happened in my game was one of the players, they were assaulting a old keep that was like a bridge crossing gateway, like it's like a toll booth kind of thing. It was like an old keep, and it was taken over by a bunch of these orc bandits. Because in my setting, the orcs are like they're not one thing. There's tons of tribes, and one of the traps they had was if you try to break into a room, there was a warhammer with a spiked end that would swing around and whack you in the chest. Like, you ever seen Conan?
Yes.
In Conan, after the guy's like riding his horse and the maul just goes whack.
Yeah.
So the Goritar, the Clark Kent looking dude, like he's high strength. He kicks down this door, doesn't check for traps. The thing goes chunk, hears a click, swings around, whacks him in the chest, does like critical damage to him. But instead of just damage, I'm like, your armor is sundered. It's completely fucked. So you have to take it off because there's just this huge hole in it. You can heal it up, but like the armor, you can get negative like whatever AC now because this thing's fucked. But
You know what?
then
That's like interesting. I like that.
I like that.
the dwarf. Well, I use it all the time. Like I'm always breaking weapons and breaking armor and stuff. Like
I like that instead of like the current D&D rules is like if you get hit, you are you're just damaged. Like you just take the hit.
right. I want to touch on that in a second actually because this is an interesting topic. But like so he got his armor fucked up, took it off. He pilfered some armor from an orc that would just barely fit him. That kind of gave him a bit of defense, and he took a shield. And then later on, they were like chilling out, and the dwarf's like, "Well, I've got brewery and smithing as a skill, so I can just, like next time we get to a town, I can get to work on fixing your armor." Because he doesn't want to buy. This is like his ancestral family armor. Because this orc's like an ex-noble. Like he's left his family behind to become a mercenary. He's like, this is a symbol of my family. I want to fix this. I can fix it for you. And then he did his proficiency rolls and repaired his armor really nice. And it was this nice bonding moment because what he did is he fixed the damage section. But it used to have the family crest was like shattered. But as he did the family crest, he did the party crest with it. There's like a little thing around it. And he was like, oh, look, it's got the party with us. And I'm like, yeah, because now we're family. And I was like, oh my god! Because I was listening, the dwarf said that. He was like, it's improved. It was where we're your family. And he was like, I love you, man. I love you too, man.
I love that so much. That's awesome.
But like, we've done it with, touching on the HP thing, right?
Yeah.
There was do you know Seth Swakovsky?
The name's familiar. I don't know.
He's my favorite RPG YouTuber, the best in the business, I think. He brought it up on his Twitter when he was talking about when I said before that the D&D bloat is like the higher level you get, monsters just get like 900 HP, 850 HP. And he's like, how does that work? Is this like pints of blood? Like he's not saying like you're full of 800 pints of blood at like highly pressurized PSIs. It's like a Kurosawa film. You get cut, raise the hell out.
Well, actually, I was talking to another dungeon master friend of mine, or GM, or whatever you want to call it. I was talking to him specifically about boss tuning, and what he told me at the very.
Ooh. Fuck! Oh no!
Yep.
All right, don't worry about it. I may have pressed the wrong button.
Yep. Okay.
I clicked two different buttons on accident.
Was that the way that he balances bosses was that he actually undertunes them, right? He gives them not enough HP,
Yeah.
right? And instead, what he does is if he feels like his players are just burning through this boss, adds just more and more small little shit enemies that can add to the difficulty and essentially be like, okay, how do I ration my attacks? Because I've only got so many attacks and so many actions per turn. How do I ration this such that I can actually get rid of these other enemies so they're not hitting me and they're not adding to how much damage I'm taking, and essentially how fucked I am on a scale of 1 to 10. That's 10. And so it's just, oh hey, there's this boss. This is the person that I need to kill. There's these little shit fucks over here. I'm gonna kill these guys real quick.
Not gonna lie, I forgot you were totally doing that in the last session. And
Yeah.
that literally almost killed Eldon, actually.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
me, a scholar. I have 6 health after the end of a fight because I face tanked an Earth Elemental.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
not the
literally one hit
wisest
from it.
choice.
One hit literally just aerosolized his imp, and then the other hit almost fucking killed him.
I have no fear.
Dude, I'm not even joking. Whenever I say that, there's literally just a splat sound as Tiny died. I'm not even like he just aerosolized. Tiny.
Can he come back though? Can he be like?
Yeah, he was familiar, so I can just bring him back.
Yeah. I was just like, man, I don't know what the rules of Tiny are, but let's kill Tiny and see how he reacts.
It doesn't care. Tiny probably doesn't care. He's just in hell. He's chilling.
He's like, fuck, I popped. Well, whatever. 24 hours to kind of kick it in hell for a while.
But yeah,
I've just given my character familiar, actually.
Oh, nice.
They've got a yokai. They've got a tanuki whose name is Korga, and he's an alcoholic raccoon dog.
Tiny is a tiny imp. He has free invisibility and he can shape change for an action into like a small animal.
Koga's got a bunch of weird abilities. He has a inspiration ability where he bangs his belly like a drum, and he gives people advantage on attack. He can do his version of Fairy Fire to show hidden enemies and highlight them, where he has basically like in his like, because Tanukis are shapeshifters and they're like magic users, has like this little pouch of dust he kind of like throws in the air and highlights stuff. His little belly drum, he hits his fat belly to give like inspiration, and it's like a bard. He can't fight anything. He has a sword, but he doesn't know how to use it. He dresses up as a samurai. He thinks he's a warrior. So he wears like crimson red like little armor, and he has like a helmet that's too big for him.
Aww.
But he plods around, and he constantly talks about his honor code and the way of Bushido and the samurai's honor. But he can't fight for shit. He can't fight at all.
I've actually got another character. I've actually got a voice actor already lined up for her, which is fucking awesome. And also, dude, look into getting voice actors. It's so much fun. It's so cool. Getting voice actors.
I do voice acting.
Oh, you do? Nice.
One thing.
I've got another friend of mine. She's.
Like Crab Warrior.
Yeah, that's the inspiration for the armor. I was like, we have a bunch of like direwolf pelt and crab shell.
Yeah. But so she's got like I think it was 8 different cat familiars.
Oh my god, she's the cat lady.
Yes, she is by all means the crazy cat lady. And actually, Andrew and Eldon, you guys are gonna meet her soon. As soon as you guys go to the farm. As soon as you guys are done in Safford.
In my last session, I had one of the characters is a because they're in not Japan. The clans are all like based as like animals and stuff. So there's like the dragon clan, there's the crow, there's the koi, the monkey, the rat. But then there's like lower clans like mantis and crab and stuff like that. The crow guy, he made a origami crow familiar for one of the characters. It's like a little tiny paper crow that flies around. but it doesn't do anything. It can't do anything. I'm like, can I see through its eyes? I'm like, it doesn't have eyes. Piece of paper. I'm like, it's just a nice trinket to have. I also gave her this. She's obsessed with Kappa. She loves Kappa. But she has terrible animal handling. So I'm like, well, you approach the Kappa as they're kind of like swimming around in this hot spring. And she's like, I roll animal handling. She rolls terrible, and like they flee from you as you kind of get in the water like some kind of weird sexual predator. Climbing in the pool, and they're like, oh shit, and they like leave. But then her like rival, who's the guy with the big scar down his face,
Yeah.
he rolls and gets like a 19. He's like, they love me. And he's like, fuck you. You win this round. You knife-eared bastard.
Yeah, I never described Tiny's abilities to attack. So Tiny has two different ones for when he's shapeshifted. He can do bite or sting. But I think I'm abusing the system, but you can telepathically communicate with your familiar if they can talk. And he knows like Infernal and Common, so he can talk with Den. And I can use, because I stole Primal Savagery from Stonk with some wonderful role playing.
Whenever they kindled, so whenever they were in that like dream realm.
Yeah, so
Essentially Elden was like, hey, can I take Primal Savagery from Stonk? Like, can Stonk really quickly teach me Primal Savagery? And I was like, roll me a d20, and it was just like either a yes or a no. So if he beat my d20, then yes, and he beat my d20, so yeah, he got Primal Savagery.
So
why did Tiny learn crotch stab attack? Go for the groin.
I think
go for the groin.
Because once I hit like level 11, Primal Savagery is gonna do like 3d10 acid damage.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it does 2d10 base. So Tiny just tells me to use Primal Savagery through him, and he'll attack things from behind. Or he'll just sting or bite. So he just does poison damage or acid damage.
I love Tiny. I really do love Tiny.
He doesn't talk. He can talk. He
as a DM,
has an intelligence of like 19.
I adore Tiny, specifically because it gives us a little bit more action in combat as well as a little bit more roleplay potential. Because essentially, I remember back whenever we were in Illness, and Din, when he was learning, actually, Zarius was teaching Din Thieves' Cant.
Yeah, that's right. I know like 7 languages.
They found a book called Same I Am. And it led them to the 9 Lives Stealer.
Oh my god. I love that. I really like when you're like giving players books to learn stuff. Like one of my characters he's big into wrestling. So I did like a book for him which was the Orc Wrestling Federation's techniques and stuff. He's like learning orc grappling now.
It's the OFC.
He's learning orc grappling. This was from
there now. Hold
That
up.
was a playback when I used to run a Space Marine roleplay game.
Go ahead and turn off on your camera again. Yeah. But so basically they were in Illness and they grabbed the book, and so while Din was learning Thieves' Cant, Tiny just fucked right off and essentially just went and they had a little bit of a role play thing with I want to say it was Serene.
Are you gonna just say the best part of that role play? Because I know what I'm thinking about.
I think I know what you're talking about. But so Tiny fucked right off, and he went and he did his thing, right? And so I don't even remember what it was so specifically. But they were like trying to barter.
Oh he stole 2 cabbages from a locked shop.
So, yeah.
And he brought it to the bar, and he's like, "I want to trade these 2 cabbages for your cheapest bottle of whiskey."
And so I made the guy roll like an investigation. He's like, where the fuck did this little thing get these cabbages from? And he's like, wait a minute, those are from the store literally right across the street.
Oh, Miss McGregor's cabbages. She's at the window like, oh, you took me cabbages. Fuck you, bitch! I need whiskey.
But yeah, oh yeah. So earlier I was talking about how the one specific kill from Din's kill count.
Oh yeah, we never finished that.
Yes. So Zarius, he kind of clambers onto the thing and sees this guy's 3rd-degree burns all the way like up his leg, up to like the middle of his thigh, and this lady's she's in there and she's treating it to the best of her ability, And so Zarius decides it's an amazing idea to just throw ball bearings all over the floor.
What?
I was just trying to like lighten the mood, but then oh
so,
man.
so he throws ball bearings all over the floor.
And by
This
the way,
woman-
they don't even notice me. By the way,
They
still.
don't.
Yeah,
Not
they
at
don't
all.
notice
I
me
made
at
him
all.
roll stealth 2 more times, and both times he rolled godlike.
Yeah.
So essentially, he's throwing these ball bearings fucking everywhere, right? This lady, somehow miraculously, she saves the deck save to like not trip and fall. I mean, granted, it's it's only a DC 10, so she's just kind of walking around doing her thing, trying to treat this guy's leg. When this guy, he's finally like, fuck this. I've been in bed for hours. I want to go outside. I want to, enjoy some fresh air. So he had a back door, literally like if like I don't know if you can see where my back door is. It's pretty much literally just like that, right?
Yeah.
So he would get up, so like here's the bed and it's facing that way. He gets up, he's like, okay, I'm gonna fuck right off outside and sit on my chair and enjoy some fresh air. And so literally his feet touch the ground and he brings himself up to the to his feet somehow. I don't know what this fucking third degree burns. And he immediately fails the deck save.
Oh no.
So this guy, he tumbles towards the door, smacks his forehead on the doorknob, like clean on the doorknob. There's blood everywhere.
Does that kill him? Is that what kills him?
Just about.
Oh my god!
So
This is like
this
that
woman,
$1 million
she's
baby,
panicking now,
Jack
right?
tripping over and hitting your head on a stool and breaking your
Yeah,
neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, pretty much. So this woman, she's panicking now. She's like, "What the fuck? Are you okay?" As blood's just coming out of this guy's forehead, he's like, on the ground, and so this woman, she rushes over. She fails the deck save, and then so she, as she rounds the bed to get towards the side of the bed that he's on, she fails the deck save and she smacks the back of her head on the bed frame. Kind of like puts her in a daze. She's not knocked out. She doesn't suffer like any grave damage.
Sounds
But
like
she's
chaos.
in a daze. Yes, very much
Oof.
so. So at
That
this
was
point, Dan
crazy.
decides it's a great idea to like kick open the door. Like, Dr. Dan is here to help.
He technically is a doctor. He does have the highest medicine stat of everyone in
Yes,
that room.
Absolutely. So Dan walks in, he rolls medicine on the woman. He's like, she's fine. And then he goes over and he rolls medicine for the guy, and I'm like, look, this guy has a fractured skull. There is blood gushing everywhere. He might not make it if he doesn't get medical attention like now. And so Dan decides. So Dan whips out his fucking note. Dan decides to whip out his fucking magic book, flip to a blank page. Time of death, cause of death, and it stabs him in the back of the neck with a fucking scimitar. And so Dan's
This
just
is,
like,
this,
okay,
this is
yep.
the poor innkeeper, right?
Yes.
I just like, I was like, I committed to it. I was like, I'm too deep already.
And so
You're like,
at this
I
point,
may have done it.
everyone's
I may have been a
fucking
bit too.
panicking.
I may have been a bit too far in a few places.
So everyone's panicking at this point. Zarius is like, Dan, what the fuck? And then Lilith and everyone else, Lilith, Serene, and Osivar all come in, and Osivar, he's also extremely new to tabletop RPG, so he's like, cool. Whereas, Lilith and Serene, they were like, what the fuck, Dan? And so Lilith and Serene, they're basically over there like, okay, heal him, do something, stop it. And so I was like, cool. Hey, Serene, by the way, you have Revivify. It's not repaired, but if you use all of your highest level spell slots and sacrifice a magical item, I'll let you cast it.
Also, and while all of this is happening, Xeris is still sitting in the back.
Yes. Zarius, he's just kind of like gargoyle style on a fucking dresser, just chilling. And so essentially, as everyone's panicking, this woman kind of comes out of her daze and she starts freaking out, seeing this scimitar still in the guy's neck, right?
I pulled it out. I thought.
Oh, no, yeah, you pulled it out. So she just sees this gaping hole in this guy's neck, right? Like right here on his neck.
Jesus
It's pretty much the
Christ.
only thing holding his head onto his shoulders.
Oh,
right?
yikes.
So, so there's just gaping blood's coming out all over the place. This woman, she screams. She runs into the next bedroom and she starts to just break down, right?
You're like, what?
So-
What? You've never seen a beheading before?
So,
What?
so Lilith runs in there, and then also Osavar decides it's a great idea to run in there, right? So Lilith immediately starts, rolling d20s like, okay, persuasion, deception, everything, charisma, right? Make
You didn't
her
see
believe,
anything. You
make her
didn't see
believe this
anything.
didn't happen, right?
It was a gas cloud. It was an
And
illusion.
so, I'm making her roll with disadvantage very obviously because she knows what she saw. She is having straight up both a mental breakdown and a panic attack at the same fucking time, right? And then so Osavar just strides in there like the Chad he is. Like, just imagine you, but with like heavy clad armor, right? And I'm not even joking. Just backhands the bitch. Knocks out a two. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly word for word what fucking happened.
Just
So
slaps her and points
Just
at
assaulted that woman.
so Osavar was like, look, nothing here fucking happened. And so
You tell anybody, I'm
And
gonna come
so,
back, and you
I'm
won't
not
like
even-
that.
I'm not even gonna lie, he does it again. He goes in for like the backhand and then like that, and then knocks her out. And I'm like, okay, straight up roll me an arm strike. I want to see how badly this, affects her. Knocks her out, so now she's out cold, right? So Osavar's like, cool. Picks her up, brings her back into the other room, lays her on the bed. Osavar's like, I have a plan. Also, by the way, this has all happened within 30 seconds, right? All from the point where Din stabbed the guy in the back of the neck to now. This has been within a 30-second period, right? So Osavar comes back with this woman who's now KO, and the guy, and let me go ahead and essentially Lilith and Osavar is a completely separate kind of like.
I think I offered to
Thing going
finish
on.
her off too.
You did.
Like, we
And
could
so,
just
essentially,
cover this
as
off.
Lilith and Osavar are leaving to go to this woman.
Go away.
Serene's like, cool, revivify, let's fucking go. Din, give me that goddamn wand of catapult, smacks it on the guy's chest, and then is like, cool, revivify, and then, closes the wound, and he's like, the man goes straight up pale, and he's like, heavy breathing, and he's breathing, he's alive, there's a heartbeat, right? Not a whole lot of blood, though.
Yeah.
So Din's like, oh, hey, I really don't want to do this, but a greater healing potion, just drizzles it on the man. For me, it's not injection, it's just, it touches you and you're good.
He's absorbed through skin.
Yeah, pretty much. And so that healing potion itself, I take that as like, oh, hey, that's blood, and that is essentially sustenance for your body to immediately use to repair itself.
Yeah.
And so, cool, he's got blood, you can clearly see that his face is now flushed, bright cherry red. And so they're like, cool, he's out cold.
I've given him too much blood.
But so at this point, now that he's alive and breathing, they carry in the woman, and Osavar's like, I have a plan. So Osavar, he's still carrying the woman. And he's like, put the man on the bed. So they put the man on the bed, and then he's like, Zarius, you hemp and rope now. And they tie the man to the bed as if it was like a BDSM scene, right? So his legs are at the ankle
open.
tied. Yes,
Wide up,
exactly. Yes, you know exactly what I mean. And then they lay the woman on top of him, and they just ball bearings and crab meat and and fly garlic and hallucinogenic mushrooms, by the way.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah,
And so at this point, the door to the room is closed, right? And they hear.
And by the way, the crab meat, it wasn't any ordinary crab meat either. This was like
it was
large
huge,
crab meat.
huge giant crab. That was the actual name of the enemy.
Yeah.
Huge giant crab. If you've ever used it, you know how fun it is. It's a lot of fun. So essentially, they had a bunch of crab meat from that. And they were just like,
No, we don't need it.
popped it on the bed. They were like,
Yeah,
wait,
we're not
have
gonna eat
this.
this all.
We're gonna make this look as weird and as fucked up as possible. So now imagine this: there's ball bearings all over the floor. There is a knocked out man with 3rd-degree burns on his leg, tied to a bed, and then a woman laying on top of him. And in between them, kind of like sandwiching, is this like really
Crab meat.
old, kind of rancid crab meat because it had been at least a month and a half after they killed this crab.
Yeah.
right?
And
and
she's
so
got,
they
like,
just
she's probably got like a bloody nose as well.
Yeah,
Being, like,
yeah.
slapped twice.
yeah. So at this point, the door to the room itself is closed, but like that door right there that like goes outside is wide open, right? So they just kind of hear a on the door, and they're like Enki, and from the other side of the door they hear Noah. Noah's like, Enki, you there? Hello? Do you know if my guys are still here? And so everyone's like, fuck, it's Noah. What do we do? So essentially, Zarius just goes gargoyle again, rolls a 27 in stealth. Osamar rolls an 18 in stealth, hides under the bed. Lilith decides this amazing idea to hop into one of the chests that she looted earlier. Rolls
And
a 7
rolls-
in stealth.
Yeah. that was horrible.
So Noah goes in there and he's like, what the fuck happened? So I make him roll perception. He rolls, I think it was like a 15 in
Oh, well,
perception.
definitely higher than Lilith's roll.
And so for me, stealth is against either passive perception or if they're actively looking for something, it's against their
Yeah.
perception.
Yeah.
Kind of standard. And so Noah's looking around. He's like, what the fuck happened? He sees the ball bearings, he sees the leg, he sees the rope, he sees the crab meat, and he sees these two people sandwiched on top of each other. And then out of the corner of his eye, hiding in the chest, he sees Lilith kind of just like this, poking out of the fucking chest.
He's like, don't slut shame me. This is what I'm into. This is how I get off.
Oh man, I'm crying, dude.
Is this where the cuck shed came from?
No, the cuck shed's
No, in the
ancient.
Cuck chest.
The country is fucking ancient.
Fucking crying,
You
dude.
gotta bring it back, and that's the cuck chest.
That's
Off to the cuck chest
So
with
Noah's
you.
just like,
Yeah. So yeah, I'll leave you to it, guys. Bye bye.
as he's, just slowly backing out of the room. So,
That's
they...
wild.
From that day on, Noah's image of Lilith completely changed.
Yes, 100%. Like, the next time that
It's
they saw...
like- he goes up to one of the characters. He's like, dude, she's such a fucking freak.
so they leave that. They're like, cool, we're done here. And then they're like, cool, MSQ progression, main story quest. Let's go. And they're like, cool, we gotta go find Noah again, right? And so Lilith's like, cool, I'll spearhead the charge. So they go into this little shop, right? I was planning on like having Noah like buying supplies or selling supplies or just something like that. Just something normal to kind of build the fact that the people of Hopestown trust Noah, right? And so Lilith walks in and is like, "Hey, Noah!" Just barred, and so I was like, "Hey, Lilith, don't roll me persuasion. Don't roll me any other charisma check. Roll me intimidation."
He brings out the spray bottle. Go away.
And
Go away.
Noah's just like, cool. I just remembered I have to do something and fucking bolted out of there. Went to the church. I think that church we kindly call the Church of Inconsistencies because I don't know how to do churches just yet. I don't know how to formulate religions and stuff yet. And so essentially Tiny wasn't allowed in there, but Serene was. So Serene, Zarius, and Lilith were all allowed in there, but Tiny's not. Even though they're...
Just a quick heads up. I've got to go in 15 minutes. I've got to go pick up my boy from school.
You are right.
Yeah, I think
forgot about that.
That is totally fine, man.
I think we're hitting the time. So you want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Let's wrap up now. Because I'm getting yelled at now.
I will say this. I would absolutely fucking adore to have you on here again, dude. It's been a blast.
Oh, I would love to. I have had a blast.
Yeah.
I've had a really, really, really
Yeah.
good time.
It's
Thank you for,
really cool just sitting in just gushing about TTRPGs.
If you ever want me on for anything, just give me a message. I'll gladly
Dude,
join again.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I would,
thank
we
you,
would love to have you as like a recurring guest.
Thank you for joining us.
I've got so much free time. Don't worry.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been really fun. This has been really
Yeah.
fun.
This is great.
It's been really fun having you here as well.
Yeah.
Just talking about all this.
Oh man, it's just
I've
fun.
got so much to talk about. I've got all the other systems I've played. I'd love to talk about those with you guys.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah. just for the people viewing, again, I'm on Twitch on Mondays, Thursdays, and Wednesdays. Usually playing games or painting minis or something. I don't know. I'm variety. I'll do a bit of everything. I might end up doing D&D stuff as well, maybe. If I can convince my players to, I can.
It's a lot of fun. It really is.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for reaching out to me. To come
Yeah,
out. I
absolutely.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us on the Base Department podcast. This was
Yep.
episode 3, talking about random shit and tabletop and all that stuff.
Just tabletop RPGs, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
great.
The content topic here.
That was awesome. Thank you for
All right.
coming to join us, Reese.
Yeah. It's been a
Tell me.
pleasure, man.
All right.
Cheers.
Goodbye.